So what are you doing with mom now that she has visitation rights? I haven't heard anything about you setting up a meeting with her or anything like that.
Is that really what you came here to talk about? It's crazy to me that as sisters we can't just, I don't know, spend time together without it having to do with drama and family conflict. Why can't we just be sisters for once and not have to talk about mom? But is that really what you came here for?
Yeah, it is what I came here for because I know mom and she's not gonna make the first move even with visitation rights, even with something illegal writing. She's not going to reach out because she's got too much pride or whatever. She just, you know how she is, she's stubborn. So are you going to do the right thing?
I don't know how to make you comprehend this, but I wasn't the one that opened the custody stuff. Everything has come to my doorstep. I wasn't the one that filed the paperwork or did the summons. I didn't involve mom. The judge did that. And in my opinion, it was a complete overreach in his jurisdiction, but it is what it is. I'm not here to... She should be grateful that I'm not fighting that somehow. And I'm not going to. But this isn't my issue. I am not going out there and seeking her. If she wants to see her grandkids, let her figure it out. Let her talk to Mill.
How is it not your issue though? This is your mom, this is your kids. Like, you're the one with the custody agreement now. You're the authoritarian in the situation. You're supposed to call her and say, hey, you want to do something next Saturday?
I'm not. What don't you get? I don't care what mom is feeling. I don't care about any of it. You know where I stand towards her, and yet you always come to me like it's a clean slate, like I've gotten over it. But I'm not over it. I am very upset that she has any form of visitation rights, and it feels so disrespectful, and so it makes me feel so vulnerable that I can't even prevent her from seeing my kids now. But it's small fry compared to the other possibility that didn't happen.
You know, she's at the point where I think she's acting like dad back in the past, when I'm sure dad wanted to be in our lives at a certain point, but he felt too bad, like he felt like we didn't want him already. I think that's how mom feels right now. Like, she's not going to like reach out.
I want her to feel that way. I want her to feel bad. I don't care, Gina. I can't make people understand what I feel. That's the thing. That's always been the thing. I can't put people in my head. And you're just not gonna get it. Because you have this allegiance to mom and family and stuff, and I don't. You can't understand my perspective. And sometimes it's just worthless to even try to get people to try.
You were so heartless. People say I'm the crazy one, I'm the bad one, but you were so cold and heartless. First of all, you take full custody from your ex-husband who just turned his life around, and now you're just so cold to our mom. You give her no other chances, nothing. No matter what she's done in the past, Miranda, she's still your mom. Like, that's not going to change. She's always, as long as she's alive, she's always gonna be your mom.
And that's really unfortunate. I didn't ask to be her daughter. I didn't ask to be here, but I'm making the best of being here in this world. I didn't ask for her to be my mom. But it's my prerogative, and it's my right to be upset with her, to hold a grudge. I can choose to forgive and forget whoever the hell I want in my family. It's my prerogative.
Okay. Everything might be going good for you right now, Miranda. I'm not trying to be like antagonistic and be mean to you or whatever and stir the pot. But you see how things go, right? You see how like Joey thought, oh, everything's good. I'm gonna wind up with custody, but then karma gets him. And you may not have done like a lot of bad things in your life. But look what you did to Melissa. I'm not going down this road. I was just making yogurt for Charlotte. That was my day. I'm not going down this road with you, Gina. Oh, hear me out. The things that you did do wrong in your life, you always paid for. You cheat. You slept with Melissa's dad in college, and look what happened. She took your man down the line. Not that that's like a loss to you at this point. But the way that you're treating mom, regardless of how she treated you, it's going to come and bite you in the ass. Enjoy the custody now, Miranda. I don't want to see your downfall. But you know something's going to happen. Have I not suffered enough? Did I not get my karma already, thinking for months that my son was dead? Is me not having to take time out of my life to listen to a summons and go to family court, is that not karma for anything bad that I've ever done? Do you think it's fun for me to take off work millions and millions of times and have to deal with 1,000 different paternity tests and different types of custody battles? And I am an expert in custody now. I didn't ask for that. I think I've been through enough thinking that my son was dead and then having to fight for him back. Right, if you say so. You know, before Gina left, I heard everything she said to you. And what, you're upset? Or you agree with her in some way? I don't mean to mansplain things to you or make my plight seem harder or worse than it is. I've had an easy go with things and I've made mistakes, but as a man who's had children with a woman and is estranged with that woman, it's very complex, because you can never hate the mother of your children. You just can't, no matter what you say. There are plenty of men at my job that talk about their ex-wives with their children, and they say things like, oh, I hope she falls off a cliff. But you know love and hate are the same thing, right? Think about all the people in your life that you have no interest in anymore. That's nothing. That's not love nor hate. You just don't care. But when you sit around and say you hate somebody, it's on the same coin as that love. So I know those men don't mean it. And I'll think deep down, I'll always love your mother. She gave me 2 beautiful children. There's a reason that Gina exists. There's a reason you exist too. But we had to actively make it work for Gina to be here. So I don't know whether or not she's wrong or she's right. I just know that family is very complex. Every day there's conflict. Can never just have like a normal give Charlotte yogurt day. There's always got to be someone asking something of me or disagreeing with something that I do. I don't know why it's like that. Everything that I do is scrutinized. I can't just live in peace. And then I feel like a hypocrite because I moved back here, but I knew it was going to come to my doorstep eventually still. It's all because of my children. No one would give a rat's ass about my life or me if my kids didn't exist. And sometimes, I don't know, I wonder what it would be like. Don't you dare say that. I know what you're going to say. But think back to that period of time this year when Junior didn't exist. You love your children. I love them, of course. I would never not have them. I would never regret them. I just wonder sometimes. I love them. I just don't love Mom. I don't. No. And believe me, I don't want to coexist with her either, and we gotta figure that out. Because the visitation rights have some leniency in there. But for the most part, she's gotta meet here. She's gotta meet in places that you're comfortable with. So we gotta figure all this out. Because her being quiet, whether Gina wants to say it or not, that ain't like her.
You know, I don't envy your position. You having to go to that house where your daughter can't stand you and surrounded by security. Now I'm at the point where, and I'm not throwing this in your face, but when I see my grandkids, security leaves the room. I think Miranda's like gained enough trust in me, but you have to go there in the security. Miranda's not going to look at you. There's also Dave. Newsflash, but you know this already. I couldn't care less about Dave. He's a non-thought to me. I've moved on. We are broken up again. He is in the same position that he was when he left our family. Dead to me. I know. But you can't avoid the conflict there. He's going to be present, and there's going to be disagreements, and he might want, I don't know, I'm just trying to set the stage for you. Are you trying to persuade me to not do this? Because I don't need to remind you that I have equal visitation rights as you do, legally. There is no not doing this at this point, whether it makes Miranda uncomfortable or not. Not at all. It's just a difficult situation and I wouldn't know how to navigate it if I were you. How, you haven't even gone about asking to see them. How are you going to deal with all of these different personalities? You're really just going for the foreseeable future, go through me as a messenger. Thing is, when it comes to someone like Dave, who is putting his feet up in my daughter's home after years of being an absent father, crazy how fathers get forgiven like that. But when it comes to the people who brought children into the world, it's like climbing Mount Everest to get forgiveness. But who am I to complain about something like that? Not trying to be petty. Should be happy for him that he has his daughter, right? What I was trying to get at here is that I think Dave needs to worry more about me than I do him when it comes to this situation. And what do you mean by that exactly? Well, I went into the custody hearing not expecting much, but still with a certain level of confidence. No matter how people perceive me and what I've done in the past, you have to love yourself and you have to have confidence in yourself. So what Dave needs to understand is when I go into the house, just because I have minimal visitation does not mean they are not my grandkids. Well, junior, grandson, can't see Charlotte, but I will be confident. I will make my opinions known about things. I'm not going to be grateful that I'm there. I am entitled to my grandchildren, and you taught me that. You taught me the rightful entitlement of a grandparent. I'm not going there like they're giving me a favor. Dave needs to understand that. Just as he's a guest, I'm on his level. So it's not like he has authority over me. Well, I guess I should be proud of you. Because as a fellow grandmother, you've learned from me. It's just crazy how now we have to both navigate these waters with our visitation rights, and I just hope that you don't get a little overconfident. Because remember, I have visitation rights too, and I don't want anything getting in the way of that. I don't want... Your daughter is like a deer right now. Everything scares her, and I don't need you messing this up for me. It's crazy how times change. Because there was once a day where I would have probably said the exact same thing about you. Well, let's hope that neither one of us has to worry about the other one. I didn't think you'd show your face after the custody hearing. But here we are, huh? And why? Why wouldn't I have showed my face here today? You're my son. I've been meaning to see you, I just I wanted to give you some space after the terrible news, after the terrible outcome of that hearing, because you didn't stick up for me. I'm your son. All I asked for was custody of my son. That's all I wanted. I wasn't asking for the moon. I wasn't asking for rainbows and pots of gold. I wasn't asking for none of it. I just wanted some form of custody. Even just a day. Wouldn't have been happy with it, but it would have been better than this. And then my mother takes the stand. Does it help at all? I somehow knew. I just somehow knew that this would wind up my fault. A judge rules a terrible ruling, and this is my fault that you don't have custody. I said nothing wrong towards you. I didn't go against you, but you didn't say anything good. You didn't say anything of substance. I could tell up there that you took a in the middle stance. And you know why you took an in the middle stance? Because you went there for you. I saw right through it. You went there to protect Miranda without having to really protect her. You did no damage to her, but you did no favors for me. You went right down the middle and thought about yourself. And now look. Your son's got no custody. Nothing. For the rest of my life, until Junior's 18 years old, I don't get nothing. Same thing with Charlotte. And that's because of you. I get that you were held up in this apartment and the only place you have to go outside of that is for groceries and work. The gas station. There's not much going on in your life. I get it. It's depressing. It's sad. The outcome is terrible. I know how much you were looking forward to seeing Junior. And I'm sorry about what the judge ruled. I am. But you're not pinning this on me. You're just not. You're not taking responsibility off of everyone else and pointing it just at me. It's not fair. Your sister wasn't even there. Not trying to throw her under the bus, but your sister wasn't there, Brian wasn't there, Damien wasn't there. I was the only one that was there and I said good things. So then who am I gonna pin it on, Ma? You don't think that you could have made a difference? Be real with me for a second. As a mother, as my mom. You don't think that you could have said something to sway me getting custody just a little bit? To negate everything that Melissa said about me? You know she said heinous things about me. If I needed someone, you were the only person there for me. And you said nothing of substance. You got up there like a politician because all you wanted was your own vote. I got nothing out of it, Ma. How do you sleep at night, knowing that because of you, your son's got no custody now? It's just so funny to me, Joey. Because back in the day, I begged you to not give up custody. I was the only one, and you did that. And now, because the judge rules it, it's my fault. I've always had your best interest in heart. I've always tried to do the right thing by you. That's back in the day. Screw that. I'm so sick of living in the past. That's the only thing I can agree with Miranda on. Stop looking at storylines from years ago. Who cares? I'm living in now. I'm living in what just happened. You want to talk about the past? Why stop at my custody stuff? Let's roll it back. Let's not forget. I've said this to you before and I'll say it again. Since you want to live in the past and drum stuff up. You're one of the reasons my marriage is the way that it is today. Non-existent. I don't have a marriage because of you. I don't have custody because of you. You just want someone to blame. That's all you want. So if that's me, then it's me. Of course it's me. It's always the mother. Nah, you just come from that generation that doesn't take responsibility for their actions. No matter how harsh the actions are, no matter what you say, you can't take responsibility for it. And that's fine. Because you're going to rue the day. Rue the day? Yeah. Everyone wants to relish in the results and how permanent they are.
and close this chapter, well, just wait. We have about one more day left, and everyone will see. Everyone will see what happens when I don't get custody. Don't be cryptic.